Next one we're dealing with is codominance. Okay, it's still part of the Mendelian genetics family, but it's going to be codominance. Okay, so this is our last exception we're dealing with. Okay, so codominance is when the genotype, like we talked before, genotype is genetic. Okay, when the genotype is heterozygous or different, but both the alleles are dominant and therefore they don't blend in the phenotype. This is the important part. They're not blending. So in incomplete dominance, they would blend. However, in codominance, they do not. That's the big thing about it. Okay? That's what gives you flowers like this. So you can see homozygous dominant is red, heterozygous is red and white, so it gives you both like this, but homozygous dominant again would give you white. So in this case, there is no recessive. Okay, and again, with codominance, they don't mix. That's the big thing. So unlike how we talked about with the red and the white would give you pink, codominance gives you red and white. Okay, so let's walk through a couple of Punnett scores with this. So let's cross a red with a white. Okay, just like we've done before, put one parent on one side, the other parent goes on the other side. Just walk yourself through the Punnett square. So the big R comes over, the big W comes down. Big R comes over, big W comes down, and so on and so on. Okay? Now these flowers, these are the red and white flowers like we just saw in the last slide. Okay, all four of them. Or you can think of this as 4 out of 4 or 100%. Either way. Okay, now, just like Mendel did, this is the parent generation. He allowed these guys to self-pollinate. So let's do that. We take the red and white flower crossed with another red and white flower. Put one parent on one side, one parent on the top, and walk yourself through it again. Capital R goes there. Capital R, capital W. And I assume you guessed capital R, capital W, and capital R, capital W. Okay, go faster again. So now here you have a red flower, you have a red and white flower, red and white flower, and a white flower. So the ratio here, or the probability, I should say it that way, the probability or the chances of a red flower is 25%, or 1 out of 4. Possibilities or chances of a red and white flower is 2 out of 4, or 25 plus 25 makes 50%. Probability or chance of a white flower, 25%. Okay, now some things in nature about this. There are things called rowan-colored cows, which are basically like a black and white cow mate, giving you the codominance. You don't see gray, you see white hairs, you see black hairs. Now it kind of looks gray. It's because it's really mixed together. Like you can see that right there, it looks really, really, really black, whereas that's really, 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 really white. But sometimes when they start mixing together, it kind of looks gray, but it's not. It's just a white hair right next to a black hair. Same thing here, but with a brown cow and a white cow. Same idea. You got brown cows, or excuse me, brown hair, white hair right there, but when they mix together, they kind of look like a light brown, but it's not. It's two completely separate colored hairs sitting right next to each other. Next one are chickens or roosters. Same idea. He's got black feathers, he's got white feathers. Okay, it's mixed either like that. Sometimes it's mixed like that, where it's almost kind of lines of feathers. Okay, either way, in codominance, they do not blend. That's the big thing to remember. So on tests and quizzes, make sure you know if I'm asking for codominance or incomplete dominance.